welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to be doing the 21 questions tag created by Allie Glines. So if you're interested in seeing that, just stay tuned. Hey everyone, as I said in my intro, today we're going to be doing the 21 questions tag. I think I asked in a video like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure when this is going up, if you'd be interested in seeing me do this tag, and you all said yes, or at least most of you said yes. So I decided it would be something fun to do. Now, if you're not familiar with it, or Allie Glines, the tag is 21 makeup related questions. And in talking about those questions and answering those questions, it tells you a little bit more about me. Allie Glines is a influencer here, a content creator here on YouTube. She is fabulous. I don't know her personally, but she seems incredibly sweet and very creative, and I just want to thank her for creating the tag. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Number one, what is the oldest makeup product in your collection? So this is, okay, first I want to caveat that you should not do this, nor should you ever use a product that's this old. Okay, this is a tester from Chanel that I had in 1997. Yeah. So it's 24 years old. It's not good, guys. So they're the little pans, but they're in a tester unit in a little plastic, so they come right out if you're not careful. And this one was called Irrels, I-R-R-E-E-L-S. I kind of remember this quad. They smell a little off, but actually not that bad, to be honest with you. Not that you should use 23-year-old makeup, because you shouldn't. But actually, I gotta say, the pigment's still there. It's kind of impressive. This, I'm pretty sure this was one of like my favorite purple quads. It's just like one of the shades, so pigment's still there. Again, don't use 24-year-old makeup. And I also have a tester from them called Variations. And this is a very neutral quad. And I remember this one. I really liked this one. It's kind of like Elemental a little bit, but this was like one of the shades from it. Has like a little bit of a shimmer. Yeah, I really like this one. But again, these are 23 or 24 years old. I don't keep them for use, like I don't actually use them. But they remind me of a time that when I was working for Chanel, I was in law school, I was finishing up law school, looking for a job, and I needed an income. And so I worked for Chanel. I did, I was a makeup artist. I did people's makeup, and it was a way for me to make some money and still go to school. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was actually kind of a nice stress relief. And then when I went to go look for jobs, I was able to transition doing that. And I could not afford Chanel at the time because I was a student and I didn't have any money. And then I had law school loans. So it was really amazing to get testers like that. And I got a lot of testers like that. One, because the brand wanted you to have like the new editions that would come out, and they would give you product, and so that you could use it and you learn how it worked and everything. But also they would give you testers a lot of the time, like, just for having a good month, or you won some sort of, there was like all different challenges and stuff. And then just sometimes they would get rid of testers and you could have them. So that was huge. Like I remember there was a perfume I wanted. I think it was a Scotta Collection, which I still actually have. But I couldn't afford it because it was like $100. And $100 was just completely out of my price range. And I won a sample of it because I had made the most like sales that month or something. I forget what it was. And it was like the biggest thing ever. And that always reminds me of that, no matter where I am in my life or what price point, frankly, I'm buying at. I am always reminded of those days that I couldn't afford the Chanel makeup or the Escada collection perfume. And you know, I hope I don't ever have to be reminded, but I think it's always I don't know, I think it's not a bad thing to have. What is your most recent makeup purchase? That is Club Nebula. This is the Kaleidos and Angelica Nyquist collab, and I really enjoy this. I did a look with it, a video the other week, and then I have posted, I think, one Instagram post with a look I did, and I'm going to be doing another one soon with more of the I guess they're orange. They're like apricot orange kind of shades. I think this is a really fun palette. It's not my typical palette. It's not my typical brand. It's fun. You know what? It's just fun. And coming on a year of being locked up, we could all use a little bit more fun. What is the first makeup product you ever used? So if I interpret that question literally, it would be like lip smackers. They came in those trays. I don't know if anyone who's my age or older, they had these like trays, and they were small, and they were like gold, and you slid them out, and they were like strawberry or peppermint or bubblegum or whatever. And I think they were lip smackers. I think that was their name. Pretty sure. And then they also had ones that were roller balls, and they had like a scent and a flavor, and that was like the first makeup product. But like the real adult makeup product that I wore was mascara. And that was when I was like 16. My parents would let me wear mascara, but it wasn't like, you know, I was wearing like a whole, it was just like they allowed me to wear, you know, I think I had brown mascara. That was like the first like adult makeup that I had. What is the makeup trend that you used to love but now you hate? I don't have any makeup trend that I hate that I used to love. I have always been one of those people. I've always been one of those people who kind of follows my own trends. Like I'm not a trendy person. I will admit it. Like when I was young, I wasn't trendy, which sometimes probably made me, I'm sure it did make me feel bad, because like, not bad, but just like, I wasn't one of those, I wasn't one of like the people, you know, who was like always on trend. That wasn't me. I kind of always followed whatever it was I liked. So it never really changed, because if I liked it then, I like it now kind of thing. I've always been a big believer that if you're doing whatever the things that you like, they never go out of style, because it's your style. So, you know, you're always on your trend kind of thing. Made sense in my mind, but you know what I'm trying to say. So there wasn't anything that I actually like ever loved that I now hate, but I guess I would say like the brow look, like in the 90s, there was a very thin brow. Now I did not do that. I did not like shave off my eyebrows or like pluck them or tweeze them, I should say, until they were non-existent. But I did have much thicker brows, and in fact, I had a lot of hair right in here, which I over tweezed over the years, and I should have just left it alone. But I wanted to have more, you know what I mean, like thinner brows. I wasn't trying to do the pencil line, but I guess I did like the idea of having a thinner brow because mine were so thick. And now, of course, I wish they were like twice as thick and want to get them microbladed. So that's probably the closest thing that I could think of. What is the makeup trend that you used to hate but now you love? Again, I've never really been like, oh, I hate that. And I don't really follow that many trends. I have to just like, I'm a little like, I'm not like the cool person. I'm not like, oh yeah, that's totally on trend, because I never know what's on trend. I guess I would say like contouring your face. Like when I first saw that, and everybody does it, so, but you know, and like when it really started and people were over contouring their face and like, you know, literally like triangles under their eyes and the whole 4 different shades of contour, I was like, why would anyone do that? I now have a better appreciation for it. It's not something I do, but I can see how if you were being creative and you wanted to do something and create a certain look, how that could be, that could be interesting, and that could be something that you want to do. I feel like the over contouring, it isn't me, but it's something that I didn't appreciate and now I appreciate more. So I wouldn't say hate and love, but that's the closest I get. What is your favorite step in your makeup routine? That's number 6. Favorite step in my makeup routine is definitely doing my eyes. I could do without the whole face thing. Like if my skin was perfect, which it's not. And when I mean perfect, I mean like just like no rosacea. For me, that would be perfect. I don't mean like fake perfect. I don't mean like I have no pores. Like, of course you do. I just mean like if my skin was all one, or you know, basically one shade. I have the rosacea like through here. So to me, the broken blood vessels and stuff, I really don't like that. So I like to cover that. But if I didn't have that issue, I would probably not even wear a foundation or powder or highlighter or anything. The only things that like I really enjoy doing are my eyes. I like the creativity of like shadow and creating a different type of design and that kind of thing. The face stuff, I'm kind of like, eh. I mean, it's not that I dislike it, it's just, it's not my favorite. What is a makeup product you can't live without? I guess mascara, probably. I mean, for me, I have relatively long eyelashes and I actually go out a lot without mascara, so it's an interesting thought. In fact, most days I don't wear mascara. I just curl my lashes and just go out the door. But if we're just talking about like what makeup product, I feel like if you literally got rid of them all, probably mascara, because when I do want to look pulled together, I feel like mascara does that. Like when I curl my lashes and put on mascara, I feel like it really opens up my eyes and really makes me look more awake and finished and polished. So I think that's the one thing that I would just be like, I feel like finishes everything. So without it, I would be very sad. Number 8, what sparked your love for makeup? Interesting. So I've always been creative, even when I was a little kid. I loved playing with blocks and paints and chalks and, you know, crayons and paints. And when I was little, I used to love playing with my mom's makeup, but she didn't actually have a lot of makeup. My mom had, I remember, a CoverGirl brown pencil, which I think was an eyebrow pencil. She had lipstick. It was always like a pink frosty lipstick. And that might be it. Like she didn't have a lot of makeup, like at all. I remember going to like the drugstore with her and wanting to buy like lipstick for her and like stuff for her. I tried to put mascara on her a lot. She didn't really like that. And I used to dress my sister up a lot, like all the time. I used to do fashion shows and get her dressed up and do different kind of clothing design and makeup and all that stuff. She's 5 years younger than me, so I don't think I gave her a lot of choice. I just was always interested in it. I always loved painting and drawing and designing. I used to design clothes when I was a kid. I have a sketchbook of all the designs that I did when I was, 5 until about, 12, 13. I loved that. I wanted to be a designer. I loved just color and playing with all of that. I don't know where it came from. It was just innate. What is the worst makeup look you've ever done? There are so many. So many. So, yeah, I'm probably something in the 80s, I gotta say. Like I said, I started wearing makeup late 80s, basically 90s. And I'm sure the looks were bad. If I went back to try to find pictures, I'm sure I'd be horrified. As an older person now in my 40s, about to be 50s, I don't really feel like I have looks that are terrible. I think I have much better taste and I've worked on it much longer. But there's certainly like ones I feel like I fail at, like things that I try that I'm like, well, that did not work out. But yeah, if I had to say worst makeup looks I've ever done, they were done a long time ago. At least I hope. Number 10, what is your favorite makeup look that you've ever done? I don't have a favorite that I've ever done, but I have to say, I am very proud of the rainbow one that I did for Lexi Zhang's series Nailed It. Mostly just because it's not something that I have ever done before, and I had practically no faith that I was gonna be able to do it at all, like at all. And I didn't think it looked bad. I'm not saying it looked great, guys. I mean, first of all, the products I were using they weren't terrible, but they weren't great. And so they didn't blend well. And it took me far longer to do that look than the video would show you. But I'm actually proud that it came out okay. Like, I thought it was pretty decent. So that's the one I'm probably the most proud of. Number 11, what is your favorite drugstore makeup product? So that's a tough one. It's between two things. It's between the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow palettes. There's like 4 in each one. Those are great. The pigments in there are amazing. They're $4 or something, and they look beautiful on the eye. Absolutely love them. And the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. This was the mascara that I always wore. Like, always. Always. This was the only one I wore. Until a couple years ago, and I'll talk about that in a minute, the mascara that I switched to. But this mascara, if you're looking for a drugstore mascara, the Voluminous mascara is awesome. I get it in carbon black, but you can also just get it in black or brown or whatever. I like the curved brush, but they also have the straight brush. It's a great mascara. I mean, it looks really good on. It's relatively inexpensive. I think they're like between $8 and $12. You know, sometimes they're like sales and stuff, but yeah, I repurchased that. I don't even know how many times. I mean, seriously, a million times. It was my favorite mascara. What is your favorite splurge makeup product? So skincare would be easier because I have a lot of splurge skincare products, because I feel like skincare is an area that you need to invest in. I need to invest. Let me put it that way. I should say you do, but I do. I feel like I put my money in skincare and like dermatologists, laser treatments, that kind of stuff, because I feel like if I keep my skin looking good, then I actually don't want or need as much makeup because my skin looks really good. So that's where I put my money most of the time. Don't get me wrong, I spend money on makeup, but actually, you know, before the channel, I didn't spend as near, I mean, not even close, because I just picked a few products for me that I was going to use. I wasn't, you know, showing them to all of you. So I actually spent way more money on skincare than I ever did on makeup overall. But I would say my favorite splurge makeup product is probably like lipstick cases. So this one's a Guerlain. This is the little bee one. They have it in red and yellow Swarovski crystals, and then this is the white and yellow one. This was the golden bee. I like these cases, like they pop open, and then there's like a little piece here that, you know, holds it closed, and then you would just open it and pops back open, and there's a mirror in here. I really like that. For me, when I was traveling, that was I don't know, I thought it was a nice touch. I could travel with it, open it up, put my lipstick on, and I just thought it was beautiful. And I have these types of cases. I have a couple of Guerlains. I have the Bond number 9. They're like bow ties. I have the, oh my goodness, House of Siage. They have the bow ties as well. And then there's another one that I can't think of at the moment. Oh, the Christian Louboutin ones. They're like really kind of, they're like, you know, they look like points, like to a heel almost. La Bouche Rouge has leather cases. You know, I like that. Those little splurges on a lipstick case that are refillable. I just think it's a nice little extra. I think they're beautiful. I don't know, they make me happy. I think there's something about them that I really enjoy. I'm not sure why. Number 13, what is your most repurchased makeup product? So this again is mascara. That's why I mentioned it before. And the mascara that replaced me buying the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara all the time was the Chantecaille. This is the Chantecaille. It's the Faux Seals Longest Last Mascara. So it's the more expensive one, of course. It's like $75. It's very expensive for a mascara. But first of all, it's a really good mascara. It makes your lashes look long. It does make them look fuller. It doesn't make them look as voluminous as voluminous. It's not like that. But it does, it makes my lashes feel better. It like conditions them. It's almost like a really good conditioner for your hair. It looks really pretty on. It gives a great look. Your eyelashes do look long. Not super voluminous, just like more like long. And, but if you use this for like 2 weeks and your lashes feel irritated, or you've been like me taking on and off makeup and everything, this really helps them feel better. It helps them grow longer. It makes them look better. So it's a mascara and conditioning treatment all in one. So I repurchased this a lot. Right now I have 4 of them. I think I have 4 of them because I go through them pretty quickly. So I probably need to get a new one every 2 months, something like that. Okay. What is your earliest makeup memory? So that would tie into what sparked my love for makeup. My earliest makeup memory is what I mentioned before about like going into my mom's bathroom and her having like 4 makeup products. And I think Pond's cold cream. That was like it. And me trying to create a look with like a pencil and a lipstick. And then I think I did convince my mom to buy more makeup, which I then used on my sister again. I didn't use it on myself. That's the interesting thing. I never really wanted to be it's so funny because now I have a channel and I'm literally talking to all of you. I never wanted to be the one in front of the camera. I wanted to be the one designing the clothes, you know, doing the makeup, but I didn't see myself as the one that was in front of the camera. I put the makeup and the clothes and stuff on my sister or my mother. It wasn't really what I was thinking, but anyway, that's my earliest makeup memory. Number 15, what is your favorite place to shop for makeup? My favorite place to shop for makeup is now gone. That's depressing. My favorite place to buy makeup was Barney's New York. Loved Barney's. There was always something unique at Barney's, something I hadn't seen before in New York. It was great. Loved going there to shop, and I went twice a year, if not more. And again, there was always something different. Like that's where I started seeing Edward Bess, Surratt, just different lines. But you know, again, they're not there. So now it would be, again, in New York, going to Bergdorf's or Saks Fifth Avenue in New York. And it's not just because these are big names, guys. I know it sounds like, oh, Bergdorf's, Saks. If you haven't been to Saks, for example, in New York, you should go for just the experience. You will never see in this country something so massive and just, every makeup brand, every skincare brand you can think of, it's there. You walk in and it's amazing. The building itself is amazing, but you have to see it to understand what I'm saying. And Bergdorf's is a different kind of feel. You have to go downstairs, and I always call it the Bergdorf pit. Barney's was the same way. I used to love going at the holidays, and of course I haven't been this year. And I miss that because you have to like chaos. There's too many people. It's too crowded. You're probably overheated because you were outside walking around, so you have a coat. And it's too hot inside, and the people are pushy, and the sales associates can be a little much. But it's like an experience. And I always found something new and interesting at Bergdorf's, and I feel the same way about Saks. Barney's was even more unique, but still, it's just a fun experience. Like, I don't know, it's an experience. It's not just shopping. So now, what my favorite place to shop online, it's just not the same, but I have to say I have a couple. It's between Nordstrom, Sephora, and Selfridges. I also like Cult Beauty. I think Cult Beauty they have interesting things. Yeah, there's a couple of different brands. I don't have a couple of different retailers. I don't have like just one that I order from. I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff coming out from independent brands on things like Instagram and stuff, so I'm starting to look there as well. Number 16, what is the most underrated product you own? Okay, so I wouldn't say make a product, I would say brand. It's kind of a product. It's the BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes in the square pans. So like these. This one is Love in London. This is one of my favorites. Their Blueberry Muffin palette is one I used for the hydrangea look that I did for a spring series that I did, a spring collab that I did. That one's really great. There's the avocado toast. There's a Switzerland one. There's a bunch of them, but they're the square palettes. I have not tried the round pan ones in BH Cosmetics, but the squares, I absolutely love them. I've loved every one I've tried, and I have like a whole bunch. So like I said, I have London, Switzerland. I don't remember all the different places, but absolutely love them. And I think they're very underrated. What is the most overrated makeup product you own? So I don't have a particular product. I would say like a specific one, but I would say in general, it's concealer. I was having this conversation with someone the other day. I just don't think concealer really works most of the time. I think it works sometimes, and I think it works better for like spot concealing and then putting something over it. But I think the idea of concealment doesn't, like if you're trying to like cover up something under your eye or around, you know, I don't know if it really works. I feel like you're just drawing more attention to it and it just ends up looking cakey. Now again, I'm very, very, very dry and I'm older. So maybe that's why I don't think concealer works. I think correctors can work, but concealers, I don't know. Maybe I haven't found the right one yet, but I just feel like overall they always seem overrated to me. Number 18, what is a discontinued makeup product that you wish would come back? Well, I have two. First is a brand that I cannot recall the name of right now, but I'll look it up and put it down below. It was a brand that Neiman Marcus actually made. And it was like, so their house brand. And it was a French name. I can't remember. It's like La Bouche Rouge, but that's not it. And it was a tinted moisturizer, but it was like a serum foundation kind of thing. And I loved the way it looked on me. It was the only foundation, moisturizer, you know, tinted moisturizer, whatever, that I wore for years. And I absolutely loved it. And one day they just stopped making it. It didn't exist anymore. And I tried to find out from Neiman's what happened. I don't know if it was tied into money trouble. I don't know what it was, but they just stopped making it. And so now I can't find it anymore. And that was the day I started embarking on trying to find a tinted moisturizer / foundation that I liked as much as that. And to be honest, I've never found one that came close. So I don't have the Auric product yet. The glow that everybody's been using, and I really do want to buy it, but it's been sold out, so I haven't been able to pick it up yet. But when it's available, I will buy it. To me, from what I've seen, what this product did is it looked like that, but it had coverage. And so, but it didn't feel like coverage. It was light, and you put it on your skin, and everything looked glowy and dewy, but covered and smooth. It was like a miracle in a bottle. And I don't know what was in it. It's probably something bad. I don't know. But it looked amazing. Amazing on me, and I loved it. And yeah, it's gone. So I'll put the name down. I can't remember what it was right now. That's terrible. And the other thing would be the ABH Mario collab eyeshadow palette, the first one that came out in that black case. The formula's in there. Absolutely my favorite palette of all time. And I do have two of them. I bought two at the time, and I have them hidden away. I need to use them because eventually they will go bad. I mean, they're old now. I've had them for a while. I store them so that no air gets in, and they're basically in cedar. So they'll keep longer, but nothing lasts forever. So I should just pull them out. I should just pull it out and use it. In fact, I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna pull it out and use it. But I want, it's a bizarre, like psychological, I want to keep them as long, because I love them, but I'm not using them. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that would be the one I would want to come back. 19, where do you go for makeup inspiration? So it used to be travel. So like I would travel a lot for work, and I would just see like looks in the airport or people at business meetings, or, you know, I'd wherever. And I'd be like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Or I'd be like, oh, I love her eyeshadow. And I'd ask people all the time, like, where did you get that? So I love that. And I traveled to New York a lot, so you could see a lot of interesting looks there as well. In the beginning, it was like Vogue and, you know, Harper's Bazaar and all those things, Allure. I used to, like the September magazines. Oh, I waited for those magazines, and I had all of them, and, you know, I'd pour through them for like the looks that I wanted to recreate, or the boots that I wanted to buy, or the sweater I needed to get, that type of thing. I haven't done that as much in recent years. Now it's more, frankly, it's more like Instagram and YouTube and all of you. You know, there's lots of people that I follow, lots of interesting looks that I see. Although I'm not a trendy person, I love seeing what other people are doing and getting ideas. There's so many creative people out there, so many interesting ways of playing with makeup. It's probably where I get most of my inspiration now. 20, what do you hope to see less of in makeup's future? Less of, I would say, I'd like to see less of the same. What kills me is that, like, so a collection comes out, like spring collection, like this year. Everything looked very similar. Now there were some standouts. There were some things where I was like, oh, this is different. But for the most part, every major brand looks like every other major brand's color story. Now I get it. It's spring. What are you gonna do? Like, I get that. But I don't know, it would be fun, it would be different, it'd be interesting for someone to come out with something just drastically different. Indie brands are already doing that. Indie brands like the Kaleidos Club Nebula palette that I pulled up, that's a very different color story than spring. And that's why I think it's fun. That's why I think it's different. Is it gonna be for everybody? No. But that's what kind of makes it fun. The idea that, you know, not everything will be the same. I get wanting to consistency. I absolutely understand knowing that Chanel is Chanel is Chanel. Trust me. But I also feel like makeup should be fun and creative, and so I'd like to see less of every single collection looking like every single collection. You know, like all the same. What do you hope to see more of in makeup's future? It's along those same lines. I'd hope to see, I want to see more indie brands. I want to see more creativity. I want to see things I haven't seen before, like the Suku brand that I started using. It's not the same, it's a different type of formula, but I think it's beautiful and I'm really enjoying it. That's a bigger brand, but you get my idea there. The Genevieve, the Vive brand, I loved everything she's done so far. I haven't bought her new blushes yet. I do want to get some blushes. I think they look amazing, and I loved her eyeshadow palette and her lipsticks. They're very 90s to me, but I love that. So yeah, I'd love to see more independent creativity. I think it's great. I also think it's amazing that we have more types of makeup now. You know, in the past, and I was joking with my sister about this the other day, there was like one type of foundation, one type of mascara. There weren't a lot of, there weren't a lot of shades, there weren't a lot of formulas. If you fell on either end of a spectrum, there really wasn't anything for you. And I love the fact that now, you can find something that you like that works for you, whether you're 20 or 80, whether you're deeper skinned, if you're lighter skinned, if you're oily skin, dry skin, if you like a lot of pigment, if you like a wash of color. I like the fact that there's more diversity in the makeup world, and I hope that continues. So those are the 21 questions, guys. Again, thanks to Allie Glines for creating it. This was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy going through all of these. And you know, it's fun to just like talk to you guys a little bit about the things that interest me instead of just doing makeup try-ons and first impressions and those types of things. I mean, I love that too, but it's nice to do something a little bit different. And I do want in the future to do like a question and answer kind of thing for you guys, like ask me all the questions that you want. I do want to do a live and those kinds of things are coming up, so there'll be more opportunities to do that. But in the meantime, I thought this would be a fun tag to do. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon.